Got a lot to do today. Day after election day, a little something different to watch. We're gonna make some cannolis. Hopefully we get to cannolis. I plan on it. I'm gonna move fast. And I'm gonna make some strawberry gelato paste today. We're starting out. Some good old prep stuff. Let's see. Got my stove. Go ahead and put that right there. Hopefully you can see well. There we go. All right. So we'll start out with some sugars. Put an unspecified amount in there. Like I said, recipes are all available if you call me. I got a special price for you. Do the recipe by memory. And next we're going to throw some of this xanthan in there. Little xanthan goes a long way. How's that for an unspecified amount? Need a little more. Xanthan, more unspecified amounts. There we go. Oops. Okay. More sugars, more sweet stuff. There. Okay, secret amount. I'll never tell. Not unless you break out your pocketbook. Break out your pocketbook. We'll talk about it. The credit card. What is? Break out the Apple Pay. That's how everybody buys stuff now. Apple Pay. I proudly have never bought nothing on no Apple Pay. My phone is for making money, not spending money. Okay. Check this out. I want you to see this. Strawberry. Okay, I'm going to just set this so it doesn't make a mess dripping. Set it over the 3-compartment sink. Okay. And then I want you to look at this. You know what that is? I hope you do. If you do, you're smart. I like smart gelato people. There you go. Actually, the nectar. So you got some nectar in there. We're going to put an unspecified amount in there too. I'm going to try to keep the ice out. Ice is the watery part of the nectar. Pour that in there. Let me see if you can see better. There we go. That's a lot of nectar. It's a lot of strawberry. If you're using all natural, all fresh, all real ingredients, trust me, it takes a lot. As opposed to some chemist with some little beaker making fake stuff. Keep it all real, baby. 100%. No falsies here. A little bit of that ice falling in there, but I need it. Tiny bit more. There we go. Almost there. Rock and roll. There it is. So I didn't use all the nectar, but I used some. I got a spam call. Let's listen to a spam call. They're trying to sell me garbage all the time. Heaven on a spoon. How can I help you? Google business listing. Dang it. They call me at least 3 times a day. I can't stand that. Yeah, people are saying something. Yes, I'm the owner. Let me say, yes, I am the owner. Are you making ice cream? I only make gelato. I would never make ice cream. That's not my thing. Yeah, people know we're making some gelato. That's right. So we got that in there. I'm going to throw that on the stove. We're going to start cooking it up. So we're going to caramelize the sugar. It's going to burn in there with that strawberry nectar. Woo! It's going to make great paste. There we go. So while that's going, we're gonna start making some cannolis. So I got my little cannoli fryer right here. Turn this bad boy on. Plug it in. Plug this thing in. Okay. That's gonna start warming up. Get another container, get some flour going. Flour, egg, sugar. A nice pot. There we go. Something I would use to make spaghetti. Being Italian, you know I make a lot of spaghetti. Okay. Break out my little scale because it's smaller measurements. We're not making like massive amounts of huge quantities of gelato here. We're making some cannolis. Measure out some smaller increments. So I got a more detailed scale. There it is. This detailed scale. Grab our flour. Hello, flour. Where are you hiding? There it is. My employees, they clean up so well that they organize, and then I can't find anything. Okay. I'm going to give it to you. You ready? 300 grams. Here it is. Gelato recipe. This one's a freebie for you. Okay? Use a quality flour. Don't be cheaping out on no cheap stuff. Okay? Next, and put a little bit of salt. There is my salt. Here it is. Tiny bit of salt. I am at the tail end of my container, so we need about 4 to 6 grams of salt. Come on, give it to me. There's 2, 4, a little more. Beat the salt out of there. 5 grams. Okay, 5 is good. We're good with that. Throw that box away. Got all the salt out of there. Got your money's worth. You get every last little bit. Next is some sugar. Sugar is 10 grams. I usually go a little over, so never under. So it might be 12. Regular old, good old cane sugar. Some of that in there. Oh, I went way over. So this is what you do. Grab some with your gloves. Pour it out. There's a little bit. Get out of there. There we go. Now we're closer. All right. Next, butter. Okay. Keep your butter in the refrigerator. High quality butter. You want to cut it. I'm going to show you how to cut it. You want to cut it so that it doesn't smoothly, it's not smooth. You need it chunky. You need it to not evenly be distributed throughout the product, but chunks always work better. So, got my gelato spade here. Some of this on. There we go. I need 27 grams of butter. And I bet you that's 27 on the money. Let's see. Zero my scale. Come on, let's see if I got it. 29. A little over, it's okay. Okay, 29 grams of that. And next, we need an egg. Grab an egg. Crack an egg in there. Come on over here. Let's see the deal. Any other friends talking to me on the deal? Not yet. Let's crack this egg. There it is. This is what it looks like. Okay, and we're going to start mixing it around. I use a gelato spade for everything. I don't play around. Get that egg everywhere in that flour. There we go. Giving away free recipe today. Free recipe today. So we had 300 grams of flour. We had 10 grams of sugar, 4 grams of salt, 27 grams of a hard butter like this, not all melty. Okay. And I chop the butter up a little more like that. Choppy, 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 choppy. Okay. And then here comes some of the magic. Now, if you're ready, I want to squish it on there. So the butter is still cold and holding tight, but you want to keep it chunky. You don't want it all smooth. By the cannoli, you want bubbles, you want different stuff in your tiny little bread cannoli. Okay, next. Party, party. Champagne. Champagne is always a good thing to put in your cannolis. Don't cheap out. Don't put a cheap cooking wine. Go right for the party stuff. So some champagne. And this is 1/4 of a cup, which always seems to do the perfect amount. Okay, just little by little. So you put a little bit in. You want to get it all around. You're still squishing the butter that's hard in there around. It's still squishing everywhere. And then a little more. You just keep going. This part, you got to take your time. Ain't no rush here. We ain't trying to win no race. We're trying to make cannolis perfect, the way Grandma does, the way your grandpa did. The real deal. Never drop the ball. Never lower the bar. Make the good stuff. A little more. Now that's the champagne I'm throwing in there. It's not the highest quality champagne, but it's got a lot of bubbles. And it's got a very strong flavor. I always use the broom because I want to smell a little bit of the wine in the product. So when it's a finished product, you can smell that there's a tad of that champagne in there. And like the first sip of champagne is the one that rock and rolls. I mean, it's got the little bubbles that tickle the nose. And if you're celebrating a wedding and they pour out, everybody gets a glass of champagne or whatever. I don't drink no more. I sure put a lot in my cannolis, that's for sure. But that first sip of champagne is the best one. After that, it's all downhill. Your second sip don't taste as good as the first one. Okay. Here we go. We're almost there. Getting it in there. Starting to get a little doughy. And you can see where flour is starting to pool up. That hasn't been moist yet. So we want to make sure I get all the stuff in one area. It's right here is the area. And I'm going to target that with the champagne. There we go. So it's very uneven. If you can see, it's very uneven. It's not like I'm trying to have a Hobart or a mixer turn it to make it all even. I want it uneven. Always seems to make the best cannolis. Okay, so now get a little hands-on here with my trusty gloves. And start squishing it together and folding it over just a couple times. So flour is cheap. So if you mess up, hey, you can throw it away and try again. It's not like flour is going to break the bank. Eggs, okay, the eggs ain't so cheap anymore. All right. Hopefully, thank you, Jesus, things will change and food will become more affordable. Here we go. Look at that. That's our dough right there. So next, I'm going to take a damp towel and let it sit. That's our cannoli dough. There's still a little bit here. I'm going to get a little extra. I don't know if you guys can see it. Look, see in the bottom there? This right here is all. So I'm just going to take a little bit more champagne, just a splash, and get it in this bottom so I can use this as well in the recipe. I don't want to waste nothing. No, sir. No waste. There we go. So that's how it looks. Now I'm going to cover it with a damp rag and let it sit so it stays nice and moist. Okay. Get a damp rag. Give me one hot second. Okay, cover it up. Wrap it up with its little blankie. There you go. That little blankie on there keeps it moist while we wait. Let it set for a minute. Now we come back to our strawberry paste that we're making. There it is. I'm going to stir it around. The bottom should already be pretty hot. So let me get my gelato spade, stir it around. So let's see what's going on under here. See, the smoke is coming up a little bit as I move some of that sugar off the bottom because it's caramelizing on the bottom. Now, if you remember, we put a nice strawberry nectar in there that we made our own nectar. Of course we did. I don't buy pre-bought. And so I have a little bit of the nectar left over here. If you can see that, that's the nectar. The actual water in the nectar will ice up, and then you're left with just 100% pure concentrated nectar. Secrets. Uh-oh, throwing down secrets. I told you too much now. I've gone too far. Okay. So I'm going to let that come to a nice boil. It's doing its thing. We're going to come on back over here to cannoli land because now we're back over here in cannoli land. Our fryer is warming up. Okay, so we got our fryer warming up. We need a rolling pin because it gets kind of hot when you pull it out the grease. This is our mold. I believe that's the top of a coconut oil, your standard coconut oil that you buy. I believe that's what that came off of. Oh no, I take it back. This came off of a coffee, like a Nescafe or one of those things. It's just perfect size. It's real nice, easy to clean. Okay, here's our mold. Now here comes another secret. I'm gonna throw down on another secret on you, okay? You wanna spray the molds before you do anything. You spray them down. And then you hit it with some flour in there and it makes the molds nice and nothing will stick to them. I don't want my cannolis. I'm all fighting to get them out the mold. I don't want to fight to get them out the mold. Look, you do that deal. Shake them around a little. There they go. And look at how nice they are. They're ready. They're all nice and ready to go. 2 seconds. They're greased. They're in there. So I got one greased. And I'm going to have the other one. This one here is where the finished cannolis are going to go. We start with this one. When they come out, I put it back in there. Flour them back up. This one here gets the powdered sugar. So, and because they're coming out of the grease, I'm going to lay a towel in the bottom of this one. So let me lay the towel. Little paper towel so it soaks the grease. you don't want greasy cannolis. So here's the setup now. That's what that looks like. Okay. So we'll get the counter set up here. I need a lot of flour on the table. There we go. Hopefully you can see everything real good. Here we go. Flour on the table. A decent amount. Keep a little more just in case. I'm going to need one more thing that I forgot. I'm going to need egg whites because you seal the cannoli with the egg whites. So let me get an egg white. I'm going to get a little separate container and put them in there. Little flat guy like this. Be perfect. Grab an egg. Throw out the yolk. Let's throw out the yolk. Okay. So let's see. There's our whites. Get rid of the yolk. That easy, okay? There we go. And because I got egg on my glove, I'm going to change this glove. I don't want to touch everything with egg in my store, see? I want to make sure there's no cross-contamination. Okay, so here we go. So we got our whites, we got our flour. We're going to start making some nice cannoli-os. Cannoli-os. Little cannoli circles. So I'll cut a little piece of my cannoli off of the dough that we made. There it is. Get a little flour on my roller pin. Push some of this excess flour to the side. So I got my little flour mountain. There we go. Okay, so we'll flatten this out. Not too flat. I'm going to show you about how thick. I don't like making cannolis all too fat. Like they got to last for 10 years. And you're going to go ahead and fill them. And they got to sit there for some hours with a filling in it while you wait for somebody. No, you fill your cannoli fresh from when somebody says, I'm ready to have my cannoli now. Then you put the filling in. You'll make your cannoli, you know, like it was made to hold the filling for hours. Okay, so this is how thick my cannoli dough is. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. I'm going to mix my mold. Perfect circle. One of Maynard's bands from Tool. Went and saw them once. Concert. There we go. Another perfect circle. Okay, and then I got a little bit of fragments of dough left. I'm going to make one more circle out the whole deal. Squish them together. Hit them with the deal. The Dealio roller pin. Okay. One last circle. And it seems like that little bit of dough made us 4 cannoli circles. Now we're going to flatten out our circles and put it in a mold. Let's see. Here goes one. Now I get them kind of thin. I like my cannoli shells thin. Now I used as a wine in my cannoli stream. Go ahead. How do I unpause? Unpause. Cancel. Hello. Am I still there? Am I streaming? Hello. What happened? What happened? Come on now. Everything was going so good. I don't know why it froze. Asshole's calling me. Can't believe it. Should just let it ring. Don't touch nothing. I don't know what to do.